Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. This is the final part of my series covering the facts and hidden details in Life is Strange. All 4 episodes will be linked in the description below, in case you haven't watched them yet. Let's jump into today's video on Polarized. Symbolism behind each title. Every chapter name has a significant meaning. Like Episode 1 is named Chrysalis. A chrysalis is the form a caterpillar takes before it emerges from its cocoon as a fully formed butterfly. In the game, the name is a symbol of rebirth, a symbolic change Max undergoes before she grows and matures to a new phase in life. Episode 2 is named Out of Time. It reflects, even though Max has the power to rewind time, her ability to rewind time isn't as limitless as she once believed. Max thought she could fix anything, but this chapter shows that time is slipping away from her hand. Her ability isn't infinite, and some moments are irreversible, reminding her that not everything can be undone. Chaos Theory is the title of Episode 3, refers to the concept of butterfly effect. It suggests small changes can lead to big, unpredictable consequences. When Max learned she could travel back to time, she made a simple decision to save Chloe's father. But this creates ripples that drastically change reality, highlighting how fragile and unpredictable the timeline truly is. Episode 4, Dark Room, takes us into the most disturbing part of the story. We uncover the horrifying truth about Jefferson and Nathan, their manipulation, drugging, and exploitation of girls under the pretense of art. The final chapter, Polarized, is a photographic term that refers to filtering out unwanted light. Symbolically, it represents Max's ultimate dilemma: to filter through emotions, pain, and chaos and make a final, polarized choice: save Chloe or save Arcadia Bay. Subliminal code. During Max's nightmare in the Two Whales diner, she's faced with a locked door that requires a code to open. The correct combination is 0311. Of all the possible numbers, Max instinctively recognizes 0311. This is not just a random number. This happens to be Chloe's birthday. The 3rd month of the year, March, and the date is 11. Ghosts of Arcadia Bay. When Max is inside the Two Whales diner during her nightmare, she can look out of the windows to see hundreds of people standing eerily still. These people likely represent the residents of Arcadia Bay that could die as a result of Max's actions. They're still and silent, almost like ghosts or statues, showing how helpless they are, victims of choices they never got to make. It reinforces Max's growing realization that she's not just rewinding time to fix little things. She's tampering with fate, life, and death on a massive scale. A silent tribute. If Max sacrifices Chloe to save Arcadia Bay, Joyce will hand down some of Chloe's belongings to Max, and among them is Chloe's studded bracelet. The studded bracelet is one of Chloe's signature accessories. She wears it nearly all the time. Max will wear the bracelet during Chloe's funeral. Max wearing Chloe's bracelet at her funeral speaks volumes without saying a word. It's a sign of deep grief, connection, and possibly guilt. Max chose to save the town at the cost of her best friend's life. Wearing the bracelet feels like her carrying a piece of Chloe forward with her. It shows how much Max loved Chloe. And the fact that no dialogue was spoken in the funeral scene makes it even more powerful. It's just there, like grief itself. One moment of respect. After Max is rescued from the dark room by David, she resets the timeline again to reunite with Chloe. Max tells her that David was the one who saved her, and he is the key to stop Jefferson. As they attempt to reset the timeline once more, the storm still strikes, forcing Chloe to accept that the only way to make things right is to sacrifice herself. In this rare and emotional moment, she reflects on everything David did to protect them, saying,
"For once I was glad I lived in an actual fortress."
Chloe's always seen David's security obsession, all the surveillance, locked doors and cameras, as overbearing and controlling. But in this life or death moment, she realizes that all that fortress energy actually protected Max, and he was only trying to protect Chloe and her mother. It's one of the only moments in the game where Chloe genuinely appreciates David's rough, often misunderstood personality, and shows him a degree of respect he rarely receives. Chloe's necklace. Before leaving the dark room to head to the two whales, Max has the option to look at and take Chloe's bullet necklace, which is lying by the computer.
There's no way I'm leaving your necklace here.
Chloe's necklace is a symbolic reminder of all the times Chloe has been shot throughout the story. The first time Chloe gets shot is at the very beginning in Chapter 1, when she confronts Nathan in the girls' restroom. She had been blackmailing him to get money, after realizing he was buying drugs from Frank. During the heated argument, Nathan pulls out a gun and shoots Chloe in the stomach at close range. Second time Chloe gets shot is when she takes Max to the junkyard to hang out and test Max's powers. At one point, Chloe tries to pull off a trick shots by bouncing bullets off objects to hit bottles. When she tried the trick shots, the bullet ricochets off and accidentally hits Chloe. The third time she gets shot was in Episode 4, when the girls rush off to junkyard to confront Nathan. In a shocking twist, Jefferson drugs Max and shoots Chloe in the head right in front of Max, killing her in cold blood. Chloe does get shot for the fourth time if Max decides to sacrifice Chloe to save Arcadia Bay. The timeline rewinds all the way back to the original bathroom scene.
Nobody would ever even miss your punk ass, would they?
Get that gun away from me, psycho!
The paradox here is that although Chloe gets shot for the fourth time, but technically in the context of the story, it is the first bullet moment. Nightmare Classroom. In the nightmare sequence, the scene opens with Max back in Jefferson's photography class, sitting through the same lecture from the beginning of the game. She believes she's trapped in a time loop, but soon, things start to unravel. The windows become slowly splattered with blood as dead birds crash into them. If you look outside, you'll see dozens of lifeless birds lying on the ground in front of the school. But that's not the only thing that has changed. The classroom is now twisted in disturbing ways. Posters and photos have altered to focus on Max in unsettling imagery. The crumpled note, which once hinted at Kate, now contains a threat directed at Max, written by Jefferson. The computer screen in the photography lab now shows a photo of Max tied up in the dark room. On magazine covers, the model has been replaced with Max's face.
That's me? Are you kidding?
Max is also on the magazine cover of Pop Vine.
This is definitely not for reals.
Class photo taken by Mark Jefferson is now vandalized. Even the Everyday Heroes contest poster now reads Everyday Zeros, with Max's image featured mockingly.
I'm not going to take the bait. I'm not.
The lighthouse is destroyed in the photo. It mirrors Max's recurring vision from the beginning of the game. Another chilling detail is the altered Arcadia Bay photo, which now shows Max and Chloe discovering Rachel's body.
Rachel didn't deserve any of this.
Max comments Rachel didn't deserve any of this. It shows the weight of guilt and grief Max carries over the trauma Chloe had to endure before her death. Victims of Dark Room. In the dark room, Max and Chloe find a cupboard with binders labeled with the names of several darkroom victims. Inside the cupboard there are total 17 visible binders who were victims of Mark Jefferson. Not all names are referenced in regular gameplay, but here's what we do know. On the top shelf, the names of the victims are Deanna, Lucy, Carol Ann, Ashley, and next to her is Megan. In the alternate timeline, where Chloe is paralyzed, Megan is mentioned as a close friend of Chloe's. However, after Chloe's accident, their friendship grows distant. This is evidenced by the postcard Megan sends to Chloe. The Megan mentioned in the binder is the same person from both timelines. The folder next to Megan is Alexis, Brittany, and Kayla. From the bottom shelf, the names are Tyra, Beverly, Lula, Susie, Lynn. Now this name Lynn raises a compelling question. Lynn or Lynn Marsh may refer to the younger sister of Kate Marsh. If Max succeeds in saving Kate, she will mention in the hospital that her family is on their way to see her soon. This also includes Lynn. In the hospital, there is a photo of a blonde girl with blue eyes on left. She is Lynn. It is not clear whether this refers to Kate's sister, as Jefferson might have known Lynn through Kate. But Lynn was born somewhere in between 2002 or 2003, making her around 13 years old when the game takes place. Due to Lynn's age and the unlikelihood of her being around Blackwell, she might not be the victim. But Life is Strange is a game known for attention to detail. So why would developers reuse a specific name like Lynn? Was Jefferson connected to her through Kate? Or is it just a coincidence? What do you think? Is it really Kate's sister? Let me know in the comments. There is Kelly. And this Kelly is likely Kelly Davis. When Rachel Amber was attending Blackwell Academy, a girl called Kelly Davis was staying in room 217, which is now occupied by Stella Hill. You can spot this info on the dormitory floor plan in episode 5, in Max's Nightmare episode. Next is Rachel Amber, the girl whose disappearance started it all. Then Kate Marsh, one of the only victims who was publicly humiliated, and finally Victoria Chase. If Max warned her about Nathan Prescott in episode 4, Victoria Chase will go to Jefferson in search of protection, which led to her drugging and subsequent capture. Oddly enough, if Max didn't warn her about Nathan, she would be perfectly safe. But that's not all. Beyond the 17 binders found in the dark room, there are other characters who became victims of Mark Jefferson's. In episode 4, right after uncovering the truth about Rachel's fate, Jefferson will shoot Chloe point blank in the head. Then there's Nathan Prescott, Jefferson's former student and manipulated accomplice. He's killed off screen, with Jefferson covering it up to tie loose ends. And finally, David Madsen, Chloe's stepfather, the unlikely hero. In the final confrontation at the dark room, David will die if Max fails to guide him correctly through a series of choices. While this isn't part of the main storyline or canon ending, it's a potential outcome worth noting. And with that, we wrap up the final episode of this series. If you know any facts I might have missed, feel free to share them in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. Just a little side note. I spent almost 5 months working on these videos. It took so long because I had to handle everything. Researching, scripting, and editing, alongside my full-time job and everything else going on in my life. It wasn't easy, but it was totally worth it. If you enjoyed the video, a simple like or a comment would mean a lot. It helps to keep me motivated and make more. And if you have any suggestions for improving the videos, I'm always open to feedback. Thanks so much for being this far. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one.